Larry, no. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5". To stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And this is incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them, because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. James now to throw again. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
To throw on 3rd down. James. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Going to give this time to the tailback, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Here's John Ryan now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And now for the first time, we get a look at this defense that was very stout last week.
And all they expect to do is continue what they did a week ago. Play terrific defense and not permit that offense to get started.
So 2nd and 10 here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
To throw is James. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brooks. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. James on 1st down and inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They run the counter now on 1st down. And after the broken tackle, couldn't get free for much space, taken down right at the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going. The previous play was a nice run, so they came back with the draw. I think they were trying to fool the defense into thinking they would throw the ball and wanted to run it again. Unsuccessful, but this team is definitely showing they want to keep it on the ground.
James from the gun on 3rd down. This is caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. A try here for the extra point. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Wilson on second down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Play action. Now Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Wilson. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. He's got a man, complete. And all the way to the opposite 49-yard line. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 41 yards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they try the right side here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on 3rd. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And the Giants send out their punter now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that was textbook 3-4 defense. Normally the defensive line just eats up blocks. In this case, they ate up the blocks and still made the play against the running game. Really, really nice job.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the shotgun, Wilson. And an alley to run. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson. And he's got some space here. And he is knocked down from the side. Right on the 30-yard line. Give him 6 yards and they do convert on 3rd. Now a handoff here to his running back. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. To throw is Wilson. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him 6 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And this one's incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And a couple of big boys up front defensively, and in that 4-3, those D tackles so vital.
Extremely vital. I love how you describe that because if they control things up front, often it's over the guard. Sometimes they slide and make it over the center. It's really hard to get a play started then because a lot of teams want to start inside out running the football. But against a good 4-3, you may not find any space. But on that play, there was 0 space, no gain.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but They need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around.
Let's go. Green 39.
Here's James to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that 1st down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
On third down, Wilson. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. Now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have two remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's John Ryan now as he'll come on for his fifth kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Giants. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. Space to maneuver at the 40. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. On first down, Wilson. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And his throw here is incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Amara Darbo, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top, as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, Brandon, back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get you caught up on all the highlights from the first half. The Seahawks are behind right now, but the home crowd should give them a boost. The Giants will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now to the middle of the first. Reynolds has got it off the left side here, and this run goes for a touchdown. The Giants land the first punch. 1st and 10. James is going to complete the pass from the gun. He gone as he sprints into the end zone. As they move out in front, 14-0. Now 1st and 10. The pass will be completed into coverage, and this long run goes for a touchdown. The Giants go up by 21. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. For the second half kickoff, let's get you back up to Seattle and Brandon Gott.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take it.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I rarely question anyone's effort on the field. But normally, you give up a touchdown like that, a long-distance play, there's usually not a lot of resistance on the extra point. In this case, though, boy, they bowed their backs and got after it.
Yeah, a little revenge. Nicely done.
Yeah, way to go. Get in there, block it, and show them that they're still fighting.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
James now on 1st and 10. Caught on the right side by Adams. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Looking to throw. James got his man complete over the middle. That's Yoder. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. To throw is James. Throwing on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down. The Giants on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now James operating from the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Yoder. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And there it was right in front of us. Today's NFL, these guys nowadays, they don't just eat up space. They try and get upfield and make plays in the backfield.
Here we go now.
James off the play fake. Letting one go deep for the end. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off down at the 2. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They go play action now. Wilson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Seahawks on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They convert on third with a gain of 22.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go now. Blue line. Blue line.
Here's James looking to throw on second down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's going to get his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. And his kick here is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Going to give this time to the tailback. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. As we've got the final quarter upon us, we get ready to start the 4th. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football. But they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. And now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And the Giants send out their punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Taken from just outside the 30. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make it second down. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he comes back with 1 complete. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it'll give the Seahawks a 1st down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need. That's exactly what they got done.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That'll be caught by Rice. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Throwing again here, Wilson. Man open, Rice. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hubbard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now out come the Giants. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Here's Gallman trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just...
And look out. I think he's going to go. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point forthcoming. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just get their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And some room to roam now. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. the gun. Wilson. Going right side here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Second down now after the pass completion. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hubbard. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And New York set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Giants, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Seattle.